Hi, everybody. Ara here. I know I said I was taking a break before season 2, but before I step back, I wanted to leave you with one more reflection from season 1. At the end of every interview, I asked each guest, what's something the audience can do for you? And what came back wasn't a list of favors or transactions. Instead, their answers revealed something deeper: how becoming, purpose, and connection can show up in the things we ask of each other. So, I've gathered those responses here, along with a few reflections of my own. Off we go. Enjoy.
I think if they can just be open to hearing and taking that, what we talked about, and saying, you know what, maybe this little nugget will help me, or I can apply that.
Cynthia's ask, take one thing and put it into action, reminds me that purpose isn't a grand declaration. It's a practice, a small step toward a new understanding, a new way of seeing, and a new way of doing things.
I mean, I love the book, and fortunately, you got great narrator, the same narrator for both books for the audio versions. And I said, I wish people could see and hear this at the same time. And that would be a production. Because I think for people to read and enjoy reading the way we enjoy reading is becoming more and more challenging. And so I want everyone on the planet to read both of your books, but I would hope that these books become something like a series, or become the basis of a new series that you're thinking about. Because this idea of engaging people with ideas is so important to you, but you do it so well, and with fun and with seriousness at the same time when it's necessary. So that's what's on my mind right now. How does Ara? I mean, these are great books, and we have friends who are reading them and telling me about them. And I just say, you know what? If we can just get that one extra medium to share with people in a way that it's easier for them to access, that would be great.
Roger's ask wasn't really directed at me. It was directed at the broader world. He was asking others to help carry the work farther, to bring these stories into the mediums where people already live: the screen, the stage, other immersive experiences of seeing and hearing at once. It wasn't about expanding my labor, but expanding the ecosystem around the work, inviting producers, readers, and other creators to steward these stories into new forms so more people can access them. It's a reminder that meaningful work often grows because others choose to help carry it into the world.
If I was to ask the audience, is to helping people who are younger than I am, mostly women. I would love to know a little bit more about why they feel so anxious. And I think that having read, I've read different kinds of books, and I've watched a lot of movies, and I own a lot of different things, and I see it, but I never understood what's the powering that anxiety. So I had a thing is tell us more a little bit about that, and what's really driving people to feel more. I keep seeing these studies and things. One of the things that I think and I'd love to explore is the challenge of having so many choices. And I'm curious if that's driving some of this anxiety, because even Roger mentioned there was sort of clearer paths to what, or not that they were the right path, but there were so fewer choices of, when we were younger, if you wanted to do this or what things look like, and then you had to kind of delve in and do this.
Charles' ask is for insight, for people to share what they're carrying. It's a reminder that connection isn't built on certainty, it's built on curiosity. Asking questions with empathy keeps us from assuming that we already know, so that we're open to learn what we don't.
Hello, audience. Thank you for tuning in. I just hope everyone can find joy in the smallest things, and I would like to urge people to go outside and look at an ant.
Look at an ant.
Yeah, and find how complex that little structure is. Oh, and also Google ant portraits. It's a series that National Geographic magazine did. They took a portrait of like all the different ant species. Their faces are like our faces. There's so much diversity in their faces. It's wild. Like, they are more than just little black blobs.
Becky is asking us to widen our attention, to notice what's alive underfoot. Because becoming isn't always about big, upward-reaching ambition. Sometimes it's the discipline of looking closely and seeing progress in real time.
I mean, I think, you could donate to causes that matter to you. You could donate to causes that matter to me. I donate to ARC, A-R-C, which is an organization that supports people with intellectual disabilities and does good advocacy for people like Fiona, my daughter, and has worked really, really hard to stop and now overturn cuts to Medicare. So if you feel like donating to ARC, you could do that. You could go read some stuff I've written if that's interesting to you. And yeah, I'd say if none of those things sound appealing, maybe just see if you can give a little something towards the direction that does feel like it gives some life to your world. So maybe find $5 to give to a different cause, or go introduce yourself to the neighbor that you haven't met yet.
Heather grounds us in purpose through contribution, and not the abstract kind, but the personal, local, tangible kind. She reminds us to support what makes life better for ourselves, or someone else, or our community.
Whatever your internal words are, whether you get the book or you don't get the book, write down some things that just make you so you, and then allow yourself to swim in that. Allow yourself to wear it. Allow yourself to be kind to yourself.
Dana's ask turns the lens inward. She reminds us that belonging isn't only something we build with others, but that it starts with how we treat ourselves.
I'm not sure what they could do for me or for Charity Mile. Obviously, if anybody, so actually another thing that I've learned about in behavior design is that you don't try to get people to do anything that they don't otherwise want to do. That was like a lesson that I keep having to learn. Like, when you're making an app, you try to guide people in a certain direction, but like you can't get people to do something that they don't want to do. And you just try to help people be successful at something that they already want to do. So I wouldn't necessarily say, oh, this is something you could do for me. But if you are the type of person that does want to make an impact for a charity that you care about, and you want an easy way to do that, I would invite you to join us with Charity Miles. And I would invite you to think about, actually, one of the last podcasts that I did was with somebody from GoFundMe, the senior strategy advisor at GoFundMe. And when I asked her what her call to action was, I think I'm going to make the same call to action, which is whatever charity it is that you do care about, reach out to them and ask them how you can show up for them in another way that you are currently showing up for them. If you're a donor, if you're an advocate, if you're a volunteer, is there another way that you can show up for them that would be meaningful to them? And not just to think about, your involvement with them as like a donation that you make over the holidays or a one time a year that you volunteer type of thing. So I think that would be the call to action is if there is a cause that you care about, ask that charity how you can be more helpful with them.
Jean reminds us that impact isn't a single act. It evolves. As we change, so do the causes and organizations that we care about, and the ways that they need us to show up. Becoming isn't only personal, it's communal. It's connection with consequence. Listening to these answers reminded me that our asks reveal what matters, what we value, what we hope for, and what we're building toward together. Becoming isn't a solo act. We are shaped by what we learn, what we notice, what we give, and what we allow ourselves to receive. Thank you so much for being part of this season, for listening, reflecting, and carrying these ideas into your own lives and communities. Until next time, I'm Ara Tucker, and this is I'm Here Too.